Hello, and welcome to the Bizzabo virtual booth training. During this session, we will review the Exhibitor portal for building and managing your virtual booth. Let's begin. The first thing that you're going to receive is an email from our event platform, Bizzabo, inviting you to join the portal. For this training session, we're going to be using a test event called the Informa Connect Sandbox. Here is an example of the email that you will receive with your invite to the portal. It'll come to you from portal@bizzabo.com. By clicking on Join Portal, you'll be brought directly to your portal homepage. To start, you'll need to create your login. If you haven't been in the portal before, you can create a new login right here. And if you've already been in the portal, you can log into your current account right below it. Please note you'll need to click Login twice. Homepage of your portal. On the homepage, you're going to see a snapshot of all the different areas of your portal in one place. Here you'll see a tracker of your tasks, which will show you how many of you have completed thus far. You'll also see the number of team members that have access to your virtual booth. This dashboard also provides you with a listing of all the sessions that your company is currently involved in, a checklist of your tasks, and a list of the recent activities that have happened in your booth. At the top of the page, you're going to see a couple different tabs that will help to break out each area in more detail. You will see the Tasks tab, where you can submit all the information and assets needed for your company profile and virtual booth. Right now, I do not have any tasks assigned to me, but they will be listed out in a checklist once I do. These tasks will ask that you upload your assets for your virtual booth. These assets include your staff contact, details and headshots, your company profile, banner images, and descriptions for your booth. Here you will also upload any materials you would like to provide attendees with, such as presentations, slides, white papers, and videos. The Resources tab is where you will find all the resources that the event team has provided to assist you with navigating our platform, including FAQ pages, quick sheets, and welcome letters. The Company Profile tab is where you will find a breakdown of all of your speaking sessions, as well as a snapshot of your virtual booth. Here you can see all the assets that you've uploaded from your task list for your booth mapped out. The Team tab lists out the members of your team. Here is where you will add team members and provide them access to your booth. That was an overview of the Exhibitor portal. Now let's get into your booth itself by clicking on the Company Profile tab. As I mentioned earlier, here is a full list of all the sessions that your company is sponsoring. At the top of the session listing, you will see a button labeled Enter Virtual Room. Clicking this button will take you to the back end of your virtual booth. The back end is not visible to non-exhibiting attendees. If you are welcoming attendees with a live video, you will be given the opportunity to set a recording duration for your video. If you choose not to do that at this time, that's fine. There's another area where you can begin recording when you're ready. Now I will review each back-end function of your virtual booth. This teal box in the center of the screen is what we refer to as the presentation stage. The presentation stage is the area in which the live audience will see what you're presenting. This box will appear on the front end of your booth and is what will greet attendees as they enter. Whatever you choose to display here is what the attendees will see. If the item that you are looking to present is not in this teal screen space, it will not be presented to the audience. Above the teal screen is a row of different buttons: camera button, speaker button, files, apps, chat, playlists, participants, and notes buttons. First, you have your camera button and your speaker button, which accesses your computer's mic and camera. Next, the Files button is where you can upload all the files that you would like to use for your presentation. You can add PDF presentations, files, images, and any other assets that you would like to include by clicking the Add File button. These items can be different than the materials that you uploaded with your tasks. You can also organize them by folders in case you have multiple sessions and want to organize accordingly. Please note that links cannot be saved under files. However, there is a way for you to reference a website during your presentation, which I will explain in a moment. The Apps button is where you can access different interactive tools that can help to enhance your session. The first one that we'll talk about is the whiteboard. The whiteboard is just that, a board that you can use to draw or create images during your session. You can create boards prior to the session, as I have done here, or you can add a board and start drawing at will. Because this whiteboard is in the center of the stage, the attendees will be able to see it on the front end of your booth. You can also share your desktop with the audience. If you would like to share a website during your presentation, I would recommend doing so through this screen share option. You can also utilize quizzes and polls that you can create prior to or during the live session. These polls or quizzes can be fill in the blank or multiple choice with either a correct answer or multiple answers. This is also where all of the results will be stored at the end of each quiz. It will list the quiz that was submitted along with its results and participant data. Another tool that you can use is your video library, where you can upload any video files that you would like to use during your presentation. Next is the record button that I mentioned before. You can click this button if you choose to start your recording after the initial prompt. And lastly, there are breakout rooms. Breakout rooms are individual private spaces that you can create within your session with the attendees. Once attendees enter your booth, you can assign them to different private meeting spaces where they can meet with members of your team for one-to-one meetings. This can be done by either an auto-assign, where it takes all the participants included in your room and breaks them out automatically at random, or you can click and drag and drop them into one of the rooms. You can also set a time limit so that after this set time, all of the breakout rooms will dissolve and everyone will be brought into your main booth. Each of the previously mentioned apps can also be used in your breakout sessions. You can access any of the main booth's files and add them to your playlist within the breakout rooms if you need to access them for one-to-one meetings. The next 4 tabs at the top appear on the right-hand side of your screen because these are quick access tools that you can use during your session. Chat is the first one that we will discuss. By clicking chat here, you can either make it appear or disappear. There is a room chat function, which is where you can have open discussion with the attendees during your session. Then there is the Q&A chat function where attendees can submit questions that can only be seen by the speaker or moderator. And then there is the moderator chat function, which is where the moderator and speakers can communicate with each other and cannot be seen by the audience. The next tab is the playlist tab. While we were in the apps tab, you should have noticed a button that says add to playlist. Clicking add to playlist helps to create a list of your presentation files that you can easily access during your presentation. You can see here I have opened up the files tab. I'm selecting a file that I want and adding it to the playlist. It then shows up in the playlist here. If you have a presentation or slides, we recommend that you present off of a PDF file. That way nothing in the presentation space is moved while being uploaded. Now, let's say that you're going through your presentation slides and midway through you would like to reference another file in your playlist. That's not a problem. You can click onto the other file, but then when you go back to your presentation, you'll notice that it leaves off on the slide that you left off on, so there's no interruption or shuffling. The next tab that we will review, which also appears on the right-hand side, is the Participants tab. This is where you will see a full list of the attendees currently accessing your space and session. Any member of your team functioning as an admin or in the virtual room on the back end, including speakers and the moderator, will have a star next to their name. All the other attendees will show on this list without a star next to their name. If you would like to bring an audience member to stage to ask a question or participate in your session, they will first need to make sure that they have enabled their camera and microphone on their end. Once they're enabled, they will light up and you can click on the live button next to their name to bring them to the stage. Once they are done and would like to mute their line again, you can click the microphone button. The last tab that you will see is the Notes tab. You can use this to help keep your presentation notes on handy during your session. Please note that when your presentations are in PDF form, you cannot see the notes, so it's strongly recommended to add them here prior to your session. Another important note is that if you select to broadcast your note, attendees will be able to see this on the front end. So please do not hit broadcast unless you are intending for attendees to see these notes. You can have the chat, participants list, notes, and playlist windows on the right-hand side open at the same time, or you can minimize whichever that you will not be using to free up space. And because they're on the right-hand side of your screen and not in the teal screen space, the audience cannot see them. Now that we have reviewed how the back end works, let me show you how the front end works. And when I say front end, I mean what the attendee sees. The attendee will access your virtual booth by clicking the Exhibitors or Virtual Hall tab at the top of the event, the event homepage. Here is where each exhibitor's booth will be located. The attendee will see your company logo and click into it. Your company profile will appear with the blurb that you provided in your tasks. They will then click on the button below to step into your booth. When the attendee steps into your booth, all the assets that you've provided through the tasks in the Exhibitor portal will be present here, including your description right here, the tags that you've selected, as well as the current display window, your booth staff right here, and any other additional resources that you've uploaded for attendees to have access to. As you can see up here, since this presentation is what was visible in the teal box when we were in the back end, that's what they're seeing on the front end. If you provide a chat as an option for your session, it's going to show up right here as well, where the attendees can chat with one another or submit a question to the presenter. When the session is over and the recording is saved and cropped, it will show up in this box for you to use at your ready. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any additional questions, please contact your event's sponsorship coordinator or customer service representative to assist. We are looking forward to a successful event with you. Thank you.